Welcome to the Brewery Adventure, where we explore the vibrant world of local breweries and the incredible atmosphere they create. I'm Tim.
And I'm Courtney. If you've ever wondered what makes a brewery more than just a place to grab a drink, you're in for a treat.
In each episode, we'll cover the places making beer, from the cozy corners of neighborhood tap rooms to the bustling energy of larger brew houses.
We're not just talking about the beer. We are celebrating the ambiance, the culture, and the community that make each brewery a unique destination.
So whether you're a regular at your local brew pub or just curious about what's out there, join us as we uncover the magic behind the taps.
Let's embark on the brewery adventure together.
Cheers!
Cheers! Tim, welcome to another fine episode of the Brewery Adventure.
Yes, it is so fun. I'm looking forward to this one as usual, because every brewery we go to is fun.
Everyone is fun. This one has some particular funness to it. But first, we've got some business to take care of.
Okay.
We need to open our beers.
Yes.
I think that is the first thing that we need to do.
Yes,
and
we
then
do.
we need to talk briefly about a little bit of details from the last brewery that we covered, which was Steel Toe in St. Louis Park.
Yes, I think we should do that. But yeah, let's get to the beers. What do you have?
I have the Boom Island Fixie Abbey Blonde Ale with a really cool label that has like an orange brick wall and a cool little blue bike on it.
Yes, I had that one in my flight last time we were there, and I'll talk about that later. It is very good. Go ahead and pop it.
Here we go. Like always, I'm making a huge mess. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's all fine. It's all fine. As long as your computer keeps working, we're good.
I should be prepared for this by now, and I'm not. There we go.
All right.
Oh, yeah. That's happiness.
Yeah, she was ready for that. I have another one that I had as part of my flight called Ducks on the Pond. It's a Saison, and it's got a cool green grass logo with a blue, kind of a baseball diamond on it, and ducks that are on the bases. So,
I've had this one, and I really like the imagery that they have for it. It's adorable.
It's a Saison. It's 6.6% ABV. Oh, see, I made a mess too. Oh, boy.
That means we're in for a good episode.
My computer's going to spell a little bit like beer.
That's good for.
It's okay. It sounded good. It's also making a mess. I have beer everywhere. And nothing to clean it up with.
Oh.
What's that?
We're just going to be messy.
We are messy. That's okay. Let me taste it. Oh, yeah, that is good. I remember it being good, and I like this one. It's got a nice taste to it. Saison is a style of beer I generally like, so I'm right on board with this one.
Love it.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Now that we have the beers open.
Yeah, before we dive into Boom Island,
yeah,
we do need to talk about a couple of things about Steel Toe. We've got a couple details. They reached out to us after the episode and gave us some more detail about the mural that we discussed, the Adam Turman
right,
mural.
the Adam Turman mural that's on the side of the parking ramp outside their brewery.
Yes. They told us that it was a project that the city was putting together, and they got to vote on which local artist project would best fit that space.
That's very cool.
It wasn't their project to do, but it was
Right.
a project they got to vote on and have a say in what was going to be there.
I'm glad they chose Adam Turman because I like his work a lot. I have many of his prints in my home.
They made an excellent choice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It does brighten up their patio.
The other part of this, we put a little challenge out on the last episode.
Yeah, a little challenge.
Little challenge. We kept adding detail to the challenge, but we did put out a challenge if someone could go to Steel Toe,
Yep.
find our sticker,
Yes.
take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I think we also threw in it had to be a picture with them holding a beer.
Yes, they had to have a beer. Yep.
Yes.
And
Of all people.
And then you added they had to tag us. They had to put in like an Instagram post and tag us.
Yes.
Yes.
All of these things were accomplished.
All of them.
The day the episode was released.
Yes. The day the episode was released, it was accomplished. Very
Yes. Our friend Josh went over to Steel Toe, got his picture taken, had a beer in hand. Josh, he's our beer drinking friend in training.
Yes.
He's not a big beer person. We're trying to get him there.
He is not. He's traditionally been kind of a champagne of beers kind of guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is fine. I'll drink that too. I know Courtney probably wouldn't, but I would. And so yeah, he's in training for sure.
But he's learning. I think he's making progress.
But he's a huge fan of the podcast. You heard his voice on the Udapils episode,
Absolutely.
right? And huge fan of the podcast, and he rushed right out to go find that sticker.
I did have to ask him if he, purposely like heard the episode, ran over there to get his picture taken, but he was kind of in the area already, but he did make an effort to get over there specifically for that.
Very cool. Thanks so much, Josh, for supporting our podcast, and we will get you the podcast stickers that we promised you.
Yes, we appreciate it.
I will see Josh this week because I'm traveling to the same place he is. We'll talk a little bit about that later.
We've got a lot to talk about later.
We got a lot to talk about.
We're going to get into it because today we are talking about a brewery that, again, is another one that's pretty close to both of us. Boom Island in Minnetonka.
Yeah. Which is a confusing name, right? For Minnetonka. It's a confusing name for a brewery in Minnetonka.
Yes.
Because if you're from the Twin Cities, you know Boom Island is a park on the Mississippi River in Minneapolis.
Yes. Not really close to Minnetonka.
Not really close to Minnetonka. So how did that come to be?
Well, the brewery was founded in 2011, and they had a very tiny space near Boom Island Park in Northeast Minneapolis. They started small. They ended up expanding one time in Minneapolis to another location that was close by, and then they expanded a second time. They needed much more space. They wanted more room for production space, a larger tap room, and so they came out to Minnetonka.
Yeah, very cool. I don't think I ever went to either one of their Minneapolis locations.
I am sad to say that I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't know about Boom Island, I don't think, or at least make an effort to get to it until they moved to Minnetonka.
Well, and even they've been in Minnetonka since 2019.
Yeah, it's been a while already.
And I would say I never went there until the last couple months, maybe recently.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of sad about that because it's really a fun space. It's a very comfortable space. I've been going there quite a bit.
Yeah. Some of the history that you looked up earlier too, I thought was interesting that they're musicians.
Yeah.
Did they both play French horn? Is that what they were at a French horn symposium? It says when they met.
It said
China.
They met at a French horn symposium, so I'm assuming that they both play French horn.
That's pretty cool. And they've both been involved with the Minnesota Orchestra, Symphony, the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, the Minnesota Opera, all of that stuff. So very cool.
Yeah. Musical background.
But they fell in love with homebrewed beer.
Yes.
That is usually the instigator of starting a brewery.
Falling in love with the beer.
Yeah.
Step one.
In love with the beer. Yep. But yeah, it's very cool. And I do enjoy Boom Island. Been there a number of times. Not as many times as you have because you have been hanging out there. I think
It's been an easy stop.
I think the people that work in there know you now. They're like, recognize you.
One of the beer tenders and I, we've bonded. We talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we were there just the other day.
Yes.
You and myself and my wife, Krista, we hung out there for an evening to enjoy some beers and reacquaint our minds with exactly what's going on at Boom Island. That night they were doing another trivia game thing, which had
the initials game.
Yeah, the initials game, which is kind of a new trivia thing. And that had drawn in some people, but we kind of sat off more into the corner so we could get away from that noise a little bit.
Yes.
And enjoy our beers. And I did enjoy them. I had a flight to begin with. Which is
you and Krista both had flights,
I know,
I was the one who didn't have a flight.
And that's weird. Usually you always get the flights, and quite often I go for a pint. But I wanted to try more of their variety, and that's what Krista said too. She's not usually a flight purchaser.
No.
But she saw that they had a number of darker beers on their menu, and she loves that style, so she wanted to try all of them. So that's why she got the flight.
Yes, and one of the dark beers that's my favorite, Dark Horse, is just a really nice drinkable porter that they have. And I did notice on their website that this summer they're going to have a couple of different varieties of the Dark Horse porter.
Really?
There's going to be a s'mores and a coconut flavor.
Oh, coconut flavor. I've had some coconut flavored beers, and sometimes when they hit it right, it can be really, really good.
Yes. And if they hit it wrong,
Sometimes if they hit it wrong, you don't really notice it. It's like coconut. I don't even know it's there, but
yeah.
we'll see what Boom Island does with it. But anyway, in my flight, I had a baby, what they call baby Bach, which was a Bach, of course, which was delicious. It's a dark lager. I really like that one. I had the Nitro Donnybrook, and that's a red ale, an Irish red, and that one was disappointing. It was kind of flat, I thought.
Yeah.
It didn't really have the nitro feel. It just felt flat. So,
And I tasted yours and it did taste
Yep.
a little flat. And I know I've had that beer there before and it's been good.
right.
So I don't know if it was just like
Maybe it was
off night kind of
hitting
thing.
the end of a keg or something. Who
Yeah.
knows? It was drinkable. I drank it, believe me. But anyway, and I also had the Ducks on the Pond, which I'm drinking tonight. That's a farmhouse ale or a saison. It's a delicious, delicious beer. And I also had what you're drinking tonight, the Fixie,
Yeah.
Belgian blonde, and that's an easy drinking beer and very tasty, light.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious. Yeah, that's the ones I had, and then I finished the night with a pint of Que Pasa, which is a Mexican lager.
Aptly named.
Yeah, pale. They call it a pale lager, but I think on their board they call it a pale Mexican lager. But anyway, whatever they call it, it was delicious, and that's how we ended our night. For me, anyway.
I think when I was there, I had the tropical layover when you guys had your flights, which is a passion fruit and guava sour. That was delicious. And the other one I like that is kind of new for them is the push up hazy IPA, which is orange and vanilla, and it tastes exactly like it sounds.
So it did have that orange push up flavor.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. Loved it.
Cool.
Another fun thing,
Yeah.
their flight holder, it could look like a couple different things. It kind of looks like the lighthouse in their logo.
Yeah, and that's at first what I thought it was because I thought what makes more sense than to do the lighthouse, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's in their logo. It's in their name. I mean, what else are you gonna pick? But then when I look closer at it, it does look like a sword.
It looks like a sword.
So we didn't ask, did we? Like,
No.
what is this supposed to be?
You know what? It's going to be my new mission to find out.
Yeah,
I can ask
I
the
think-
tough
I
questions.
think we need to ask that question and find out what it is. But anyway, no matter what it is, it did hold the glasses, and that's what's important.
And it was easy to carry.
Easy to carry. I carried 2 of them all the way to the table.
I was
By
impressed.
by myself.
Yeah.
So I did fine. But anyway, we had a nice cozy spot kind of over in the corner near the tanks.
Yeah.
In the brewery, we did notice it was tank number 5 is missing, right? They're
Yes.
numbered. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is nowhere to be seen, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. And
we
they
have
didn't-
questions. We have a lot of questions.
We did ask that question. We did ask where 5 went, and they didn't know, did they?
No. They didn't even realize that there wasn't a 5.
Or at least the person we talked to didn't.
Yes.
Probably the head brewer probably knows what happened to 5, I would guess.
I mean, there is a space. There's a hole where you could put
Don't
something
know.
that has a 5 on it.
Anyway, that was occupying our minds, I guess. But we had a nice cozy spot in the corner. They have like wood barrels around that edge, kind of separating where you sit from the tank area, from the production area.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. They got a cozy little larger table over in that corner, kind of a little nook. Did you see that?
Yeah. And it had like little flowers
Yeah.
up on the wall.
That
Yeah.
looked like a really comfortable place to sit. If you had a group of like 5 or 6 people or whatever, you could sit in there. Otherwise, yeah, a smattering of high tops and bench style tables and low tables, high tables all around the place. And then back around that corner, past the bar where you get your beers, in that corner, there was more of a private rentable room.
The boom room.
The boom room. Yeah, that looked like a nice space to rent if you need a little spot.
Yeah. It looked really cool back there.
Yeah.
We did have a geocaching event there a little while ago, and I was thinking we were going to be in that back room, but they just had some high top tables reserved for us, which was great. It was fabulous.
Yeah, quite often for geocaching events, we don't want to rent space.
No.
Because it's a free event. It's a thing that just people show up to, so you don't really want to pay for rentals. So you generally just kind of find space. Some breweries will just set aside some space. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had tables reserved for us. They
Yeah,
had little signs on them.
That's awesome. What else? We have... oh, yes. You went back. We were there together with my wife, Krista. And then you went back just a couple of days later for an event. What was that?
It was the best day ever, Tim.
I was busy. I was busy with family things, so I could not attend, but I was jealous because it did sound cool.
So they had an event called Nights and Pints.
Nights and Pints.
And I read about it a little bit on their website and thought, I'm going to go to this.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if other people came with me, but whatever, I'm going to go by myself. And I ended up putting a message out to our geocaching group the day of.
Right.
And your brother ended up showing up. And then Josh ended up surprising us later.
Oh, really? Josh showed. I didn't know Josh was there.
Well, so your brother Tom and I,
Yep.
we had a beer. We kind of walked around and looked at the different vendors that they had for this event. They had like a leather worker. They had a soap maker, candle maker. They had an actual blacksmith.
So kind of like a Renaissance
Yeah.
fair kind of a feel?
Yes.
Okay,
People
cool.
were in costume.
Wow.
So even there was some armored combat that was going to be happening. So those people had like legitimate armor on.
I saw some of your video of that, or maybe it was Josh's video. Maybe I saw a video from somebody.
Yeah.
And did you put it in our Instagram feed?
Not yet. I was saving it.
Okay, Courtney's going to do that. She's going to put some video from that event, including the guys in armor hitting each other.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you can go look at our Instagram to see that. That looked really, I mean, a pretty cool thing for a brewery to do, I think.
It was really neat. And again, like just regular spectators were in costume. So your brother and I are standing outside waiting for the fighting to start. And I look over and see someone walking toward us with a helmet on, but also like normal clothes. And I was thinking, wow, that he's prepared. He could just jump in there and start fighting. And he came right over to us and then took his helmet off. And it was Josh.
What?
So the grand reveal.
Did he bring a helmet or did he borrow it from somebody there?
He said he had it in his car.
Oh, that I could believe.
I don't know. He was prepared.
Anyway, so you watched, you had beer, you visited vendors, you saw the fighting.
It was combat. They did like one-on-one fights, and they've got weapons that are kind of blunted out, and they've got rules for safety, but this is like a formal kind of competition with a referee and all this kind of stuff happening, and there's national competitions, international competitions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like a whole thing, but they're hitting each other.
There was no jousting though, right? No horses involved?
No horses.
Okay. All right.
No. But they did one-on-one fights, and then they did like a bigger brawl that had 5 guys in the ring at the same time.
Wow.
It was really neat.
Okay, very cool. Check out the Instagram feed if you want to see what that looked like.
And they also did a special selection of beers for that event that were themed, which again makes me lean toward the flight holder being a bit of a sword.
Oh, okay, sure.
I don't know, because I don't know if that fits in with the rest of their stuff. But they had a beer called Sharpshooter that was a West Coast Pilsner, Dragon's Breath that was a smoky wheat ale that your brother and I both had and was really a nice smoky flavor. Mm-hmm. A Knight's Ale, which was an English pub ale, and then Maiden's Mead, which was a honey, orange blossom, jasmine hard seltzer.
Okay, they had a good selection of new things going on.
It was, yeah.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad you had a really good time at that event. Like I said, I was a little bit jealous not being able to be there, but I'm glad that you and Tom got to attend, and Josh as well.
It was good times.
Very cool. We have not really described Boom Island, I think, the way that it looks. Boom Island is in a one-level warehousey area. Would you call it that? Not industrial, but like warehousey.
Yeah.
There's offices like the rest of the rest of their building. What there's a vet clinic and something else. I don't remember what else was in there. But they're on the end of it, and it's typical. They have a permanent patio outside on the corner
Yes.
where there's seating outside and kind of a brick surface to walk on. And then they've also, I think, just realized they need more patio space, and they've just kind of cordoned off a section of the parking lot there outside their door with a tent and more seating. So lots of space to sit outside as well as what we talked about inside.
Yeah. And there's space for a food truck. There's typically a food truck there.
Right. Typically food trucks, like most breweries, they have a rotation of food trucks that come by.
But they also do pizza inside.
Yeah, you can get a pizza inside, and it's not like a frozen pizza. They're not just cooking you a frozen pizza.
No, there's a pizza place in the Skyway in Minneapolis called Sorrento Cucina.
Okay. Yep.
Cucina?
Sure. Either way.
That's what it's
sounds
called.
good. Yeah.
They bring over freshly made pizza crusts that have the sauce and cheese already on them. And then the rest of the toppings Boom Island puts on at the brewery when you order it.
Yeah, and we had the night I was there with you, we had a combination sausage pepperoni pizza, which I thought was pretty good.
Delicious.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. The other thing that I had not been paying attention to, they have a rewards program.
Oh, yes.
They have their own app, which I have. That's free app. Every 7 beers, you get a free beer. So when you go pay for your beer, they'll like mark off that you've gotten a beer. And when you hit 7, it pops up and tells you that you have a free beer coming.
Nice.
But Tim,
Yeah.
for $10 a month, you could get $2 off every pint. You could get 2-for-1s all day every Tuesday, 15% off merch, access to member-only merch, and early access to new beers.
That's pretty cool.
I feel like their early access to new beers is very important. I have been there before and tried to order a new beer and been told I couldn't because I was not a member.
Oh, okay. Well, they recently won an award for one of their beers that you got to try, right? You got there at the right time to be able to try it.
Yes, they recently won the 2025 Minnesota Brewers Cup Award for Best in Show for their pumpkin ale.
Oh.
And when they won that, they put it back on tap for a week.
Yeah. And what was
Would
that
recommend.
like? And what was that like?
It's an autumn ale, and it's all the autumn spices. The spice flavor really comes through.
I think I would have really liked it.
I think you would have too.
I'll look forward to it I'm sure they'll bring it since they won an award for it. They'll probably bring it back again, right?
I'm hoping so.
This next fall, in the fall maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to stock up on crowlers.
Oh yeah. Yep. So they have the $10 a month Boom Squad membership. What else do they have?
They also have, for a bigger membership, for $750 a year, you could get Boom Squad Premium. So you get all the perks of the regular membership, plus you get a free beer every day, a free crowler a week. You get a glass, which I've seen other people there with their special glasses.
And I'm reading this on the screen right in front of me. It says that glass is a 26-ounce glass.
That's what it said.
So for their free pour, you could come in for your pour every day and get 26 ounces.
That's what it seems like. I don't know if that's how it is, but that's what it seems like.
That sounds like a dangerous thing to be a member of.
It sounds like a pretty great thing to be a member of.
Yeah. You also get 3 hours of the Boom Room rental.
Yeah.
I see. That's pretty cool.
Problem solved. You
If
don't have to pay for it.
Little birthday party or something.
Yeah.
Boom, you're in.
Boom, you're in.
Boom, you're in. Right into the Boom Room. Very cool. Let's do a quick. We've talked about pizza. We talked about the environment there, which is very cool and relaxing. They got a big screen projector thing where when I've been in there, it's usually got some sort of sports thing going on it. And dogs are allowed outside only, not inside.
Correct.
Just so you know that. And a quick bathroom review. Their bathroom's clean. I would call them clean and accessible. That's what I will call them. But I didn't like the fact that I think they had paper towels, no kick thing on the door. So to get out, I had to try to use the paper towel, but then the garbage can's not quite close enough to the door, so you have to do that gymnastics move where you try to get the paper towel back into the trash can. Anyway, what does that give them? I think that's a good 8 out of 10, I think.
That's higher than I thought you were going to give them.
Move that trash can a little bit closer to the door. We can bump them up.
A little work to be done.
Yeah, a little bit. But perfectly fine bathrooms. So there's your bathroom review. We are quickly coming to the end of this episode, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else that Courtney would like to add.
I mean, I feel like I could talk about Boom Island for a while because I really enjoy being there.
Yeah, you have been hanging out there a little bit because it's convenient to you on the way home from another thing.
Yes.
And so you end up there, and that's pretty cool. That's what, breweries kind of develop that neighborhood or community feel to certain people. LTD is like that, like you've talked about. We've been there.
Yeah.
And lots of breweries are like that. They get their group of regulars that are there on the regular. That's why they're called that. And then other people, of course, are coming in as well. And Boom Island has kind of become that for you recently.
Except I'm not going to call myself a regular there because I do feel very distinctly when you walk in, the bar's in front of you.
Right.
I feel like the regulars sit on the left side of the bar.
Well, the people with the big mugs, they all have big mugs over there? Yeah.
They all know each other there all the time. It doesn't matter who's sitting over there. Like the left side of the bar is for regulars. Okay. And then the right side of the bar is for other people.
Cool. And the tables are for everyone.
Tables are for everyone.
Yeah, of course. So as I mentioned before earlier in the episode, I will be traveling with Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, who you've heard on this podcast. We are attending a large Muncie and geocaching set of events in Morgantown, West Virginia this next week. I leave on Tuesday. I think Josh is coming from Florida because he's working in Florida before that. But he will be coming from there and we'll be meeting at the airport.
Do you have brewery plans already?
We don't have.
You scouted this out?
Very briefly, I don't have any firm brewery plans because this is going to be a hectic number of days. I'm going to be there from Tuesday till Sunday, and we've got things to do all the time. There's multiple geocaching events and multiple Muncie events to attend. And so we are going to be trying to jam a lot of stuff in besides both Josh and myself trying to do some filming for YouTube. And Craig, I don't know what Craig will be doing, if he'll be filming as well or just helping Josh. But we will be doing a lot of things. And so, but we are going to visit the breweries. I know that for sure.
How many days are you there?
We arrive. I won't arrive in Morgantown until Wednesday because they're going to be in Pittsburgh on Tuesday. But so I'm there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then fly home on Sunday.
So I'm expecting 3 breweries.
I think there are basically 3 breweries in Morgantown.
Oh, nice.
I think there are other places that probably call themselves ale houses or tap rooms, but they're really restaurants.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I think there's basically 3 breweries there. And so we will try to visit them all. The other guys that I'm traveling with besides Josh and Craig is Rob, who's the president of Muncie, the game of Muncie that we play. And so he's really big into beer as well. He has a channel on YouTube where he talks about beer. And so you could look him up as Rob Barteman on YouTube. And so we have multiple people that are into beers. And like you said before, Josh is kind of in training.
He's getting there.
He's getting there. So we will definitely visit the breweries. But I will talk about that trip a little bit on our next episode, along with whatever.
Magic Mystery Brewery in Minnesota.
Another magic mystery surprise brewery from around the Twin Cities or greater Minnesota. And we don't know which one we're going to do quite yet. We have visited a couple of other breweries recently, so maybe one of those will slide in. Don't know.
We could also take recommendations.
And how would someone do that, Courtney?
Well, you could email us, tim@thebreweryadventure.com or courtney@thebreweryadventure.com. You can reach out to us on Instagram, The Brewery Adventure, or YouTube, The Brewery Adventure.
Yes, you can do all of those things. And please do. We really enjoy getting some feedback from our listeners.
Absolutely. And if you happen to see our stickers somewhere,
yes, take a photo with our stickers if you see them in breweries. We have placed a number of stickers in breweries around town, not just at Steel Town. So you should be able to find them. Not all breweries have a place where you can put a sticker without seeming out of place or ruining their brewery. So it's not all of it. Anyway, I think we're just about at the end of this episode.
Yeah, I'm ready to I've been doing a lot of talking. I'm ready to drink the rest of my
I know,
beer.
I need to drink some more of this beer too. So thanks for coming along on this brewery adventure, and we will see you next time when we'll be talking about Morgantown breweries from West Virginia and also whatever brewery we are on to next. So until then, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.